Do you love golf? We have a wonderful charity golf tournament we've got to tell you about. We have the director of the golf tournament from MedG, Garrett, is going to be on our podcast today to tell about this wonderful event for feeding empty little tummies, F.E.L.T. So no further ado, let's talk to Garrett. Today we have with us Garrett Amagon. He is the director of the MedG Classic. Something really special we have going on here. I've been lucky to be a part of this, and just want to introduce you to Garrett, and let's see what we have going on with this tournament. So tell us about the MedG Classic.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me out and getting this together. The MedG Classic has become something pretty passionate to me, and I'm glad you've been able to join us on our committee. The little history of the MedG Classic started in 2018.
Okay.
So a small group of foot and ankle surgeons here locally wanted to get together and do something for the community. And, I was fortunate to be part of that team. And that first year was our first year ever doing an event like this at scale for a golf tournament anyway. And it was an instant success, and it actually was an instant passion of mine. I never knew that I wanted to get into a golf tournament and run a larger scale event. But to work with the community, work with small businesses, large businesses, collect the community players, and see them all come together on that day. And it was December 8th of 2018. It was our first tournament. We selected JDRF for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation that year. But then I walked away and just had to do it again. And we have changed a little over the years. But 5 years later, we took a year off for COVID, obviously 2020.
Yeah.
But we are building what I want, in my dream was the very best golf tournament on the west coast of Florida, but especially Sarasota, Florida.
Right. Well, and you saying that you started, so the first year, you obviously learn something every year, and you're like, okay, I won't do that. I'll be more trimmed here. And now you're always looking for different charities to kind of to benefit. So who are you benefiting this year? So
this year, actually the last 2 years have been F.E.L.T. Feeding Empty Little Tummies.
Okay.
So they're actually based out of Manatee County. I noticed them being very active around the community, especially in Bradenton, Manatee County. Their red collection cans were everywhere. Especially they were in all Starbucks. Then I saw them in the hospitals. And then I started hearing some chatter from employees at actually Manatee Memorial Hospital, which I go into quite frequently. I can explain that later.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's talk about your business a little bit, but I know your passion's in this tournament.
So it all came together one day because I was referred to talk with them. I chatted with a lot of different people about finding a more local foundation or charity to support instead of a national, which JDRF was.
Right.
I'm all about supporting local.
Absolutely.
So I was in Starbucks getting my daily coffees, multiple at some point.
Keep you rolling.
And I met Kim Bailey, who's the president and CEO of Feeding Empty Little Tummies. She was coming to collect her can. She was working, picking up the food.
Working it hard, huh?
And I went directly out. We exchanged cards. I said, I'd like to chat with you at some point. And, I don't think she ever expected me to call her back.
Right.
And especially since we already had a developed tournament for 2 years, so we jumped on with her on our third year. So, and I gave her a phone call, said, "Hey, we've got a golf tournament. We'd love to partner with you guys," and started a really really nice journey.
Okay.
As far as how we selected them.
Now you work in the medical field. And so you have a direct relation to the area. You're tight with the doctors, tight with a lot of the medical people. And I think that's, you're already doing that to help people anyway. You're already in the field of helping people. So taking into the golf tournament and throwing that passion there, it becomes a second job, I'm sure, for you. You're very organized, by the way. I go to these committee meetings and there's like a website up and it shows exactly where all the money's at. Everybody's held accountable. It's amazing how the organizations come together.
Well, I've learned a little bit, about exposure, and you expose what you're doing, you're going to have to be more organized.
Right.
But the tournament itself, if you look into running a charity golf tournament or a foundation, it's supposed to be ran like a small business,
Right?
Like a little corporation, and it feels natural. I want to grow it,
Right.
and I put a lot of pressure on myself. A lot of people have said, "Oh, just keep it simple," and I'm not that kind of guy.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all the way.
Yeah.
It's no half-ass thing here. We're going for it.
Yeah. So each year, I sit back after the tournament almost that very night. As tired as I am after the tournament, cleaning up and having fun, I'm immediately thinking, how can we do this better next year?
Pluses, minuses,
And even with players and sponsors that come out saying this is the best tournament they've ever been to.
Sure. Hey,
their words. Not
we'll
mine.
take it. But there's always something to prove on, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like in anything in our lives, our personal lives, our business, and this, I think is on stage.
Right.
This is a part of my life. It's a part of my family's life. I hope that one day that I can pass this along to my children to run.
Yeah.
In even on a bigger scale.
Right.
I have a vision. I've shared this with some people, but I have a vision of this growing into something that's more.
Right.
Right now we're sort of hand selecting a charity at a time.
Right.
But I think we can definitely do more with the support of the community.
And as you get more organized, and as I noticed, and I appreciate you inviting me into the charity, because I had a little golf experience, and I used to own restaurants, and we had talked about some things we had done, and I'm already learning from you on the several I've done. But you've actually involved a lot of your own personal business money into this. I mean, you developed some golf carts and some different fun things to do at these tournaments. I mean, is there a couple events you want to focus on we do, and then we can talk about some of the sponsors? But I know there's a couple special things that you guys do, like the ball drop thing and all that. So what are a couple of the highlights of your event?
So perfect. This is actually where I get really excited about things. When you break it down to each little detail. So a very dear friend of mine, John Jacobs, almost 4 years ago now, we played in a golf tournament because I was really hooked on going to all these charity golf tournaments in town.
Right.
And we'd always walk away. It was like, it was fun, but there was elements missing all over the place. Right. Especially because I love to entertain. I love to go to these golf tournaments. And I remember calling him on the phone one night after this one tournament. I said, we have to do something that's creative to bring back to our tournament, get into other tournaments. So we developed these golf carts that hold kegs, hold cocktails, have music, have lights, but you don't see this anywhere. Right. And so that was I think our first element that we brought back into the tournaments just to elevate the excitement.
Right. I know you had. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that we've got, if you look around the course now, our first highlight is you walk up to, beverages. You have I say is one of the classiest openings to a golf tournament.
That's what I was going to hit you on, because I know that last one that you showed me was pretty amazing.
That one thing I think that's missing in tournaments is really the beginning of the recognition of the charity.
Yep.
Why we're all together, and then showing just showing some togetherness. National anthem at scale. We have a helicopter that tries to fly over just at the end of the national anthem, which drops as many golf balls as we can sell pre-tournament.
Right.
So all this can be learned on our website.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a link down in a QR code in the site here. So
this is third year for our helicopter drop, and I've actually had tournament directors around town reach out to me and say, hey, who's your helicopter guy? Because not a lot of people do it. There are some big tournaments that do it.
Sure.
But, ours is definitely still growing. But, I think you know this already, but we're at 126 out of 128 players. So
yeah,
2 more players fills the field.
Wow. Just 2 weeks ago, we were kind of, we got like 8 teams left to go, and boom, just like that, we're filled up. So
we're 36 days out, and we have a full field. Now we're working on, getting the sponsors.
Trying to make sure all the sponsors are there and cover enough money for the charity.
Yep, exactly.
So, but so I know you got the helicopter drop, and then some of your sponsors. I know you've really worked with a lot of great people in this, and there's some great people on the committee. Well connected in the community, giving a lot of their own free time to this. So some of your sponsors, I know you'd like to mention some of them.
Well, yeah, one, I wish the whole committee was here because, this is really honestly, it's a collective effort. I mean,
Absolutely.
Not one person can.
You're speaking for everybody. I can say, I think everybody's comfortable with that.
Not one person to pull together a golf tournament. It takes a tribe.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a community of people and volunteers, even past to the committee and cleanup. There's just a lot of details. It's a big day. But, from the top, we couldn't really do this without the players.
Of course.
The sponsors are huge, but it takes 128 players to pull together and to make it a meaningful event.
Right.
But we have, I feel now, we're starting to get a consistent mix of our community partners, sponsors. For example, Big Top Brewery.
Okay.
Which, they started right here locally, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty close. They have a location right around the corner from us right here. They have a great group of partners that run that organization. They're growing like crazy, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, and they're local people. It's just great.
Local, Absolute Payroll. Drew, he's been great for the last few years. He's come on board.
I used to use those guys when I had restaurants.
And very, what I see is they're very passionate about the tournament as well.
Good.
When they come out, they're bringing more people. They're trying to raise more funds. They're not just doing it for a tax reason. They can see they're in getting involved emotionally as well, and that's what's exciting.
Sure.
And to see, not just a return customer, you're seeing a group of us say, let's build this together.
Everybody has a little bit of their heart into it and feels good about it, and I think that's why you always bring up the sponsors as our meeting starts. Hey, hey, just make sure we're all, thanking our sponsors and, let's get a couple more involved. But you always bring up the help that they're bringing us. So it's nice.
One thing I've tried to do and encourage our team, and I think it's important for anybody in this type of event is we're on social media world now.
Right.
And that's how we're all trying to grow and extend, doing this podcast.
Exactly.
Getting online. And so first and foremost, trying to promote each other.
Hey, this is Reese Davis from College Game Day, and Garrett's been telling me about this great charity golf tournament that's coming up to help out with food insecure children in the area. I can't think of a cause that is more noble or more worthy. And when you get an opportunity to go out and play a great golf course, have some great time of fellowship, and know that you're also helping out people, especially helping out kids, many of whom might not know exactly where their next meal is coming from. It's a great opportunity. So I hope you guys have a great time, that you go out there, you hit them straight, and you remember that nothing is quite as rewarding, not even a hole-in-one, not even winning all of the swag that I'm sure you're going to give away at the golf tournament, is quite as rewarding as knowing that you're helping out others in your community. So Garrett's doing great work. I commend all of you for helping out, and I hope you guys have a great time out there.
Trying to help each other out as much as we can. It's the spiderweb effect of marketing. Who's also been really influential in our tournament is Sam Patel. He runs like an Oracle type business. It's data, HR software for large corporations.
Okay.
Like he supports Chick-fil-A across the
wow.
country. Well, he's involved with Big Top, so he's been very helpful to reach out to his partners and to get involved. Sam Patel and his company is also our helicopter sponsor.
Oh, okay. Which is amazing because,
so
it's not cheap.
So over the years, Sam, Drew, Big Top, and then this year we have a new sponsor that came on board, which has been awesome, Sunbiz Studios.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them.
Yeah, well, here we are at Sunbiz Studios here with Marius and myself.
And again, I know you've got good and deep connections in this town, and that's really what's very helpful to a golf tournament committee.
Right. Right. Well, I was in the restaurant business so long, and that's why we kind of put this podcast together, because as a realtor and a broker associate here in town with a small team of agents, one of the things that we get asked all the time is, well, who do you use for this? Who do you use for, fixing your car? So we figured this podcast is a great way to get local businesses involved, kind of like you get local businesses involved, and highlight them for what they do, and say, this is why you're in Sarasota, the Manatee, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area, because all these great businesses and all these great people that make this such a wonderful place. And this podcast really helps, I can say, hey, go watch episode 6. If you really want to know about the tournament, check out the tournament. If you really want to know who cuts my grass, go watch this one. Or, who cuts the dog's hair and who fixes my car. And then as we get more of those businesses on here, they get highlighted and they can use it for their own marketing. So,
Smart.
That's what's nice about this. And this is, kind of how we met. You have another podcast that, I know you are focused on, working on. But, which you're probably shooting today somewhere. You never know. But some of the other, so those are your top sponsors. I know you have several, big ones that always come across. The young lady that works with a construction company, Smith Willis.
Yeah, for Willis Smith. Peggy.
Willis Smith, Peggy. Okay, so yeah, she's
Peggy Kronos.
Yeah, she's a riot. So
yeah, you talk about golf tournaments. She's, probably in a month she is part of 4. Which she supports on a lot of different levels. But she's very well.
She runs with passion. I tell you, man, she is bam on it.
Yeah.
It's she lights up the room when she gets talking and gets going. You have to stop and listen to her.
Yeah, I could tell if she could clone herself, she would, because she wants to do as much as she can for everybody. And so she's been great for our tournament committee. Brings, like you said, some of that life of the party that
Yeah, she keeps everybody straight,
needs.
which is nice. Here, we talked a lot about the tournament, and we never really got into your business. So what is or who is Med-G? What's that all? Where's it all come from?
So there are days when it feels confusing. Is my business a tournament, or is the business, my medical sales?
Right.
So about 10 years ago, I actually just anniversary 10 years, I started selling medical devices. And interestingly enough, I didn't really know what a medical device was when I was approached by a larger company to sell medical devices. And
right.
I had to ask them. I said, "What is a medical device?" And some people still don't know. But I think more and more as we've gone along in this world and the industry is a little more exposed in what it is. And for really simplicity, medical devices can mean a lot of different things, but it's all the things that help surgeons in surgery either help heal, fix a bone, fix soft tissue, but it could also be instruments and capital equipment in the hospitals. And so that's why I mentioned I've been inside Manatee Memorial quite a bit, because I service I go to different hospitals and work with different doctors. But I started with larger corporations. I was a corporate employee, and I quickly learned over about 5 years that I wanted to be more local. I wanted to start something more independent.
Right.
And that's how I created Med-G in 2018. And interestingly enough, the actual logo was developed in the need of creating a logo to put on a hole sign for our first tournament in 2018.
It's funny how things have come together. So the two passions came together automatically just through the logo.
Yeah, so it's been a very invigorating career working with foot and ankle surgeons. I appreciate everything that they've taught me, and I think it's led me to this point where I want to do more for the community, to reach out to do more for these foundations that are looking to help our local community with things or individuals in need.
You see a little more of the inside scoop that most people don't see. Literally you're in surgeries, but you're inside a field that most people just don't get to appreciate. How talented these doctors are and how talented the medical field is, and you can see there, and they have passion to take care of people. I know they make a vow to take care of people, and you get to see it every day, which falls right in line with the way you are too. You run with your heart on a lot of things. Just getting to know you over time. It's all or nothing with you.
I go in deep when I do it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot involved in the medical field. What these doctors have done, their training, all the levels of details in hospitals. And it's not even the sales process. It's, most people when you drive by a hospital don't even really know the extent of what's happening.
Right.
And they're until they need it, and then they'll understand.
And then
and
the trust
appreciate
really
it.
falls in their hands. You don't realize. I mean, it's instant trust because you have to have the need. So the golf tournament now, you want to hit us with some dates and times and some of the, it's almost sold out. So there's only 2 players available, but if people want to get involved, there's some other ways to get involved.
100%. So the first thing that comes to my mind is this helicopter. We almost call it like a helicopter event because it can involve many people that you don't even have to be involved.
Yeah, you can just get involved just through the ball drop.
So how that works, because when I explain this, they're like, what is that? What is going on? The helicopter. So we're selling helicopter golf balls on our website. You can buy them in packs or single balls. And we collect these, we number them. So if you're ball number 10, we're dropping that out of a helicopter into a designated circle on the golf course with a pin. The pin's in the center. The closest ball to the center of the circle wins $1,000.
Nice.
Someone there, hopefully there, or anyway, someone will win.
Yeah, of course.
So that we're keeping that open all the way up to probably 24 hours before the tournament because
Right.
we have to stop, collect
Make
the balls.
sure all the numbered the right way and everything.
And then they'll be loaded up and dropped right around 8:15 in the morning.
Before the shotgun start.
Yeah, shotguns at 8:30. This year it's at Legacy. We've done Legacy a few years now. It's a great local course. Wendy Patterson there has been awesome to work with. She's the golf pro, manages the club, and she said we're definitely one of the top, especially like sold out events there in the year. They do have some other great tournaments to go through there. I know some people that run them personally, but the helicopter is a way that everybody can get involved, and it's just a fun thing to see the helicopter come over.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And then, so when they go to your site, there's all different options for them to get involved. They can, do a ball, they can sponsor a whole sign, they can do different levels, what's comfortable for them. But, knowing that money goes to F.E.L.T, to feeding little tummies, $50, $100, it all helps. Because I think there was a stat, and I can't remember of how many kids are getting fed daily through some of their events.
Yeah, so right now they're up to about 1,500 kids a weekend. And if you look back where they were last year, they were feeding probably around 900 to 1,000.
Wow, it's a big jump.
And so there's 2 things that I think it shows. 1, the need.
Right.
But 2, the support from their local community to be able to get to those numbers because they're running all off of donations and sponsorships
and the donation time of people's time and everything. It's crazy that there's that much need in an area that you would think is pretty predominant. I mean, it's just under our noses. Yeah,
F.E.L.T. There's a lot of different F.E.L.Ts.
Yeah,
there's in every county. There's a backpack program. And it's so much more than that. I mean, These are just the little kids they're looking after in the school systems. And they'll tell you, even in their county, it's a drop in the bucket is to a problem, which is a whole bigger conversation
sure, of course.
that we could have. I mean, and honestly, listening to those stories and seeing the need that's in our own town, is staggering. And that's why, my vision, and I hope the vision of the committee and the team around me, is to grow this beyond a single charity,
right?
Beyond just this county locally.
Right.
The way I look at our area, especially because what I do for work, it extends down, about an hour south and about an hour north.
Sure.
And we're really right in the middle of the territory that I support. I look at it as all one community.
Right, of course.
So if we had a foundation, and that's, I feel like our end goal is to have a foundation that can, support multiple charities, help one startup that really means something to the community and what means something to us personally.
Right.
There's going to be no better feeling at the end of the day than what we do in the day to help our.
Well, you have a bigger reach, right?
Yep.
I think we were talking about it earlier. Your goal to take this the MedG Classic into helping more people is a big thing, and making a huge impact on more people. So as you get your feet wet into smaller organizations, and you're trying to stay local, but if you can spread that feeling through the West Coast here,
Yep.
that's a big thing. I know you've talked about several times. We sit and have a coffee or a cocktail, and we're still talking about those things. Which is a wonderful new cup. But that said, it's a great charity. Really excited to be involved with it. Is there any last words that you have to throw out there? We're going to put links down to the site. We're going to make sure that they can get involved. The tournament date, we don't even have that. It'll be up on the screen, but what do we have for a tournament date?
And October 21.
Right.
It's 8:30 in the morning is when we try to really launch the golfers out. But it's really an all-day event. And even if you're not a golfer,
yeah,
even if you just want to come watch or be a part of it, volunteer, it is a day that I look forward to all year long, like my kids' birthdays and my anniversary, which, one person I do want to call out here that has really supported me over the years of this and my career is my wife.
Of course.
I feel like the level that I've been able to grow this to is in part because of the support that she's given it. And I think at first, where our kids were small, she wasn't as much of a part of it.
Right.
As far as being out there, and when she started to come out, it was really clicking.
Right.
Just to seeing how many people were out there, and the level of fun, and the fact that all of us are coming together to help our community, which she's a big proponent of.
And I haven't met your wife yet, but I'm sure I will soon. What was her name? So when I go out there, I go, "Hey, you're Garrett's wife."
actually, you've met in passing over the years, Sarah Amagon.
Okay.
She's like I said, she's born and raised in Florida, but she's been all over this area. But she's met you at some of the restaurants that you've managed in the past.
Yeah, so I'm going to see her.
The Beach Club, I think,
is prime. Well, good. We'll have to have the Beach Club guys on, and we'll remember those days. But yeah, I'm real excited about the tournament. I think it's going to be a wonderful event. We could always use some help, some volunteers. I know we're going to have a team of our realtors out there that are really involved. But anybody wants to come out and help, I know they'd appreciate anything they can do, and get the same feeling we're going to have when you hand that check over.
Yeah. Well, my thing is really just thanking everybody that's been a part of it.
Yeah.
The return players, there's a handful that's been to all 5 years,
yeah.
Which I looked at the other day and just thought that was extremely. It meant a lot to me to see those people that we've all been together growing this thing.
That's what I love about these tournaments too, especially the group of people. And like you said, it goes back to the players. You're going to meet some amazing people, as the players, just not sponsored people coming out to spend their money to enjoy this thing, and they know they're donating, but there's some really sharp business people out here in this stuff, and to rub elbows with these people that you might not normally just get to pick up a phone and talk to, just to be out supporting the same event, and same charity is pretty cool, because, you're going to meet some hidden success businesses that most people don't know about.
Absolutely.
So
I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time, man. I can't wait to the tournament, and we'll see you soon.
Let's do it.
So thank you, Garrett, for coming out and telling us about the event. We're super happy to be a part of it here at Dan Henson Real Estate, and also with our Sunbiz Studios here in our studio. So if we can help you in any way with real estate or podcast needs, just give us a call. Shoot us that text, shoot us that email, and we'll help you any way we can. Hey, until next time, have a great day, a wonderful week, and an awesome year. Thank you so much.